For those who are going to be hearing this presentation today, I say to those who are easily offended, a tagline from me of sorts: get as offended as you like. I am not here to not offend people. I am here to tell people the harsh truth of what is actually taking place in our world. My presentation style is often extremely intense and at times even combative, even outrightly combative. I won't sugarcoat my words or delivery. Some people may become upset at things I'm going to say here today. So be it. Feel those emotions and let them flow through you and experience them in their fullness. However, realize that that will never make what I say untrue. Don't fall for emotional mind control or judging the truthfulness of information based on how you feel when first hearing it. Truth, by its very nature, wages war against all forms of deception and mind control. I don't present this information to be liked, to be popular, to make money, or to make friends. I speak publicly as a result of a moral obligation because of what I know to be happening in our world. I speak publicly to teach that to other people so that they may become informed themselves and take action and do something about it. That also being said, there is nothing new here today in this presentation. You will not be seeing or hearing or experiencing really anything new. It may be new to you, but this information has always been here. As the old saying goes, there is nothing new under the sun. Okay? This means that truth is eternal. It has always been here and it always will be here. The problem is that the government-controlled mainstream media wants us to associate that which is new, or the news, in other words, with that which is true. And as we all should know by this point in time, nothing could be further from the truth. The news isn't telling us what is true. It is just presenting that which is quote unquote new to us. So we, want to latch on to the new stuff. This is a mind control technique. Okay? It doesn't matter whether something is new or not, or whether it's been around for eternity. All that matters is whether it is true. And that's what I endeavor to do here today, to speak the truth and help people to understand the truth.
Hi, Ozzy.
So let's continue. What we are in the midst of right now at this point in human history is a socially engineered perceived crisis. Now, as a result of this and as a result of subsequent events, many other events are taking place as well. But this presentation is largely going to focus on the quote-unquote pandemic that we are currently in, namely the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. I want to introduce what may be a new term for some viewers or listeners, and that is a socially engineered perceived crisis. See, the crisis that we are in is highly orchestrated, and it's a managed large-scale event. It's designed to steer the mental perceptions of large amounts of the population in a specific direction, which is specifically dictated by the social engineers of our world. In other words, the ruling class of our world, the mind controllers of our world, the dark occultists of our world. This is a perception management crisis. The crisis, yes, there is an actual disease, regardless of what you want to consider the origins of it, the nature of it, the vectors of it. Those are for another, time to explore and to flesh out. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm just trying to get people to understand that this entire event is a managed crisis of perception. to make it seem much more dangerous than it actually is. But in addition to sickness and death and the worldwide economic devastation, this crisis of perception is designed to create fear, trauma, cowardice, inaction, mistrust, division, and submission. Ultimate submission is what it is designed to create. And it is working beautifully, unfortunately. That is because people still tune in to the talking heads on the mainstream media. They still are listening to what so-called experts have to say and believing and hanging on their every word as truth. Okay, and they're falling into a consciousness of fear and division as a result. Nothing has really changed in the last several decades, really the last several centuries or several millennia. People are still easily led and easily mind controlled by the social engineer ruling class. So the mainstream media, they're telling people whatever the ruling class wants them to think and believe, and it's working beautifully because consciousness has still not evolved to a level of understanding that these people are paid liars and they are trying to steer human consciousness in the direction that the ruling class wants it to go. See, and that's what this whole conference is about, understanding that there are other perspectives on what is taking place, and they are just as valid as the quote-unquote mainstream perspective. As a matter of fact, they're far more valid than the mainstream perspective. But the media is doing its job of instilling fear into the human population, and they're buying it largely hook, line, and sinker. A small percentage of people aren't buying it, and they are trying to put out an alternative narrative, and then as a result, the ruling class is trying to block that narrative from being understood by the majority of people. The majority of people are television watchers. They're still tuning into the mainstream nightly news for their information and government websites for their related websites for their information. And unfortunately, that means that most of them are buying into this perceived crisis, this perceived, managed, socially engineered crisis. We have to disconnect from that mainstream information and take information in from a wide and eclectic variety of sources before coming to a conclusion about what is really taking place. And by applying a true truth discovery methodology, namely the trivium, to understand what's really happening. Most people aren't doing that. They're acting from a place of belief, as we're going to talk about in this presentation. My question to the viewing audience, to help you guys who are mostly awake to what is taking place, I want you to understand what your work is to do. And most people still really don't understand what your great work is to do. It isn't just to absorb information. It's to understand how many asleep people there are out there and go to work on trying to wake them up by putting information out into the world. And far too few people are doing that. How many people in the world still completely believe the official government and mainstream media narrative? I say it's far upwards of over 95% of the population. And why? Why is that? It's because we, as allegedly conscious people, aren't doing our work that we are here to do. The very understanding that the overwhelming vast majority of the human population has accepted the media hype about this quote-unquote pandemic is the exact dynamic that should show those who consider themselves awake what their own work is to do. And sadly, most people haven't transitioned into a place, from a place of knowledge into a place of right action, applying that knowledge in the right way. That's what the great work is to do, folks. And more people have to understand that that's what the great work is and start doing it. Not just talking about, I'm awake or I know what's going on, and just being satisfied with the knowledge that you have, but transitioning that into right action through teaching others. Not just shying away and saying, oh, you have your perspective. You have to put the word out there. The universe is spoken into existence. The more we speak the truth out into the world, the more the reality around us will change, because people's behavior is based upon their perception. And if we start to inform their perception, their behavior will change for the better, and the world will change for the better as a result.
Hi, Brandon.
That's how our reality collectively in the aggregate is actually built. Believers of the mainstream media narrative possess all of the hallmarks hallmark characteristics of a religious cult. And we need to stop being like dancing around this topic and calling it what it is. It's a cult. These people are in a cult. Stop sugarcoating the words. It's not just their perspective. It's a managed perspective that is socially engineered to drive behavior in a certain direction by the dark occultists who rule our society. That is the definition of inculcating people into a cult belief system, and most of them are right there. And here are the characteristics of their mindset. Blind belief without verification through a real truth discovery methodology. They listen to the news, they listen to the government narrative, they listen to the mainstream media narrative, and they accept it on blind faith. They have no firsthand knowledge, whether scientifically or with life experience, of anything that is actually happening. They simply accept what is being told to them. They have no actual skepticism of quote unquote officials and quote unquote experts. They'll say that they're skeptical people or non-religious people, but nothing could be further from the truth.
Guys, this might be the last time I talk to you. It might be the last time you see any of my videos. This was the video that True Patriot was playing when it got removed off YouTube. It didn't just get removed. It says his channel was taken down. I had a call from a mate from Eastern States inquiring about the video. Do I know what video it was? Because it took his channel down. And then I found the video, which is this one, which is still playing on YouTube. The guy's got 80k subs. So, you know, is that guy's channel a money-making channel for YouTube, but True Patriots isn't? I'm done with the different fucking rules, you know, different strokes for different folks. Done with it. And I always say to you people, don't lose sight of those that do bring you the truth, and don't let them break the fucking chain. In protest today, I'm prepared to lose my channel because True Patriot has lost his. I don't give a flying fuck. So if it does happen, it was nice knowing you, folks.
They are actually true believers. Because if an official says it or an expert says it, well, then it absolutely must be true, and it doesn't require the application of my skepticism or actual independent research. I could just accept it on my blind faith. That's the hallmarks of religion, ladies and gentlemen. And these will be the first type of people that'll tell you they have no religion. And they're absolutely full of crap. They have a religious belief that is a cult belief system.
And just so that you guys know, in the description of the actual video, which is in the description already, you should be able to check the description under this particular live stream. I have put the exact wording. I literally copied and pasted that this, where the video can be found, that it's Mark Passio's, everything that he's got underneath his video, which clearly says that you can share it, okay? You can share it. His video is going, but like I says, True Patriot obviously tried to play it, and yeah, he got busted for it. So in the description, like I said, you will see I've got everything in there exactly like it is, stating where the video is on YouTube, whatever. Let's see what happens.
And the final characteristic of this mindset, non-believers of their cult belief system must be shamed or punished. And that's what we're seeing actively taking place in the world around us. Those who don't accept their worldview and don't accept their version of the narrative that is being pushed off onto us by the mainstream media, they have to be shamed and ultimately punished and have their rights taken away. And it's time for us to speak up about this and say we're not going to accept it. Another part of these true believers' mindset is the belief in a superior class. They believe that the dogmatic experts that are telling us what we must believe and that we have no other choice to believe this narrative comprise a superior class of human beings to the average person. They are the so-called medical experts, the mainstream media, the governors and government agents and people, in positions of power. And then so-called experts and pundits, from non-governmental organizations that really don't even have true, experience in any fields of research that they are allege that they have. The Gates have no experience in actual health research. They're just foundation money collectors. That's all they really are. And hey, they're going to believe people from the mainstream media. Here, go to the slide and look at the upper right-hand corner. These people here, from all the mainstream media outlets. These are the same people that told us that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and we were going to see that evidence being born in the form of a mushroom cloud. Don't you remember that? But now all of a sudden we could take them at their word, and they're speaking gospel truth. I mean, please. It's laughable is what it is. See, this isn't just belief in a superior class, ladies and gentlemen. What it really is, if we go back to the slide here, it's a belief in a master class. That's really what it is. Let's not mince words and give euphemisms even. It's not just that they think these people are superior to other people. It's they think that there are masters. That's what this worldview really is all about. They believe in a master class and an inferior slave class that must obey their edicts and dictates. They believe that the master class has the quote-unquote right to command others. This is part of this cult mentality that is actually perpetrating what I'm going to get to and explain as worldview violence. Imagine people like the governors of different states in the United States believing that they are our commanders, our governors, our controllers, that they can dictate by their voice alone and the stroke of a pen what people may or may not do in their own lives. Imagine, they think they're kings and rulers and masters of other people. And people believe this claim. It's called authority in government. It's the belief that the master class has the right to command others. See, the logical fallacy that the average human being makes, and even some people in the so-called alleged freedom movement, it's no such thing as the freedom movement, it's a my freedom movement, ladies and gentlemen. They believe in this thing called authority, but they never actually take a step back and apply the behavior in question to themselves. This is what you have to do. Take a step back and apply the behavior in question, namely the right to command other people, the right to rule others, the right to dictate to others, to yourself. Imagine, do you believe you have that right to go out and command others what they may do in their lives, regardless of what health condition may be present or not? You believe you are the commander and ruler of other people? Of course, if you're really being honest with yourself, you don't think you're the ruler or commander of others. Well, then how did other people get that right if no one themselves as an individual has it? And it is true, no one has that right. Now, when we want to really look at it, get down to the bottom level of it, the problem is people's ego is in the way from understanding this. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they were duped. And that's what the force of the out-of-control ego is. It's people's hardened ego, and their rigid dogmatic belief system actually blocks them from seeing, hearing, and understanding and acknowledging the truth that no one has the right to command others. You apply the behavior to yourself, this belief that a master class has the right to rule and command others, and inevitably, if you are being honest with yourself, you will come to the conclusion, stepping back to the slide, please, that ultimately there is no such right. No one has the right to command others. No one as an individual has the right to command others, so this right cannot be granted to or delegated to anyone else in the world. That makes the whole concept of government become instantly illegitimate, morally illegitimate on its face. There is no such thing as the moral right to rule or command others. And anybody who thinks that there is such a right is under an illusion of a diseased mind. Their mind is sick, and they are under a religious cult delusion. And that is how we have to say it to them. People don't want to hear that, but it's irrelevant whether they don't want to hear it. We have the right to speak it because it is the truth. There is no such thing as the right to command. The problem is they're trying to reverse it and say we don't have the right to challenge that through our speech. See, we're in a state where slavery has been accepted wholesale. And there are people who believe that the ruling class has the legitimate moral right to rule, and other people are legitimately their slaves. This is really where we're at in humanity, worldwide. And the vast majority of people have accepted that paradigm. And what it is a cult, religious belief system that is completely false, completely erroneous. There's not enough people speaking out in courage that that is a false paradigm and belief system. This is what the message that we have to put out there to this body of the population that still believes the mainstream media narrative and still believes the government narrative. To believe in authority is to condone slavery. That is exactly what it is. Stop sugarcoating it and start saying what it is to other people. To believe in authority is to condone slavery. If you are a believer in authority and you are a believer that there is moral legitimacy to government, you are someone who is saying, I believe in and condone slavery, because that is what the right to command and rule other people is. It is slavery, and that is what government is on its face. And I will not sugarcoat that that is what it is. I'm here to put that out there as the plain and simple truth and encourage others to do the same. There is no such thing as the right to rule or command others. We have to stop believing that there is, because to even believe it is to condone slavery. And it's completely immoral, and it's completely based on violence. So now what's happening is that the narrative of this masterclass is being said never to be questioned. It is not to be questioned by members of the slave class. This is what all this social shaming is all about by the members of the cult. See, the cult members want to point fingers at other people who don't believe their worldview of authority, their authoritarian worldview. You know, they want to say, oh, shame on you. No, not shame on us. Shame on you for accepting that slavery is morally legitimate. How about that? That's how the tables have to be turned. Your worldview is false and illegitimate morally on its face. And now big tech companies, big tech corporations are trying to make it impossible to get the word out by censoring social media and censoring people and deplatforming them. And all that's going to do is incite very, very dark days ahead, let's just say. It's already turning in that direction because of how people have been oppressed. And people don't understand it's a powder keg. It's not just a powder keg here in America, folks. It's a powder keg worldwide. And you better psychologically prepare yourself. And I'm telling everybody out there, it's because most people who say they're for the truth and for freedom didn't do their work. They failed at their job. To morally educate the public, there is not enough of the voice of truth. Reality is spoken into existence, ladies and gentlemen. The universe is spoken into existence. What we experience in our daily reality, in the aggregate, in the collective, is based upon what people said, what people accepted into them, the information they took in, and that is what informed their behavior. And now what the ruling class wants to do is try to make it impossible to get that word out there, and they are going to ensure a violent outcome as a result of that. That's what I've been trying to prevent from day one, and that is what I've been trying to tell my viewership and listenership, that it is your personal responsibility through your actions to help prevent by teaching people true morality. And unfortunately, we're failing in that job. Collectively, we're failing in that job, and you're going to see the result of that failure in the physical world. This cult believes that they have the right to force their worldview upon others, to force their belief in authority, to force... they think that there is no alternative view about viruses in general. I'm not even going to get into that here today, to talk about, again, what the nature of it may be, what the reality of that may be. That's a whole nother presentation in scope and scale. And there's not enough time to do that here today. Okay? I'm just explaining these people believe that all alternative viewpoints of reality, perspectives of reality, are to be banned and banished and even possibly made illegal. Okay? And people who don't accept their worldview as it is put out there by the mainstream media and the government and other quote-unquote officials or quote-unquote experts is not to be challenged, and they are to have their rights stripped from them if they don't accept that worldview. Well, I don't accept your worldview. I believe my knowledge is far superior to yours, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. Look, I've said it before on my show, folks, the amount of knowledge and research I have taken in is actually frightening. I'm going to show it to people on my show one day. You think for those who have ever received the ARC drive that I offer, it's nothing. It's nothing in what I've taken in, actually. I will show you the totality of what I've amassed as far as knowledge is concerned. I'm not going to have ignorant people who just believe the mainstream media without actually looking into the depth of information that is available for themselves to tell me how I must inform my worldview. Quite frankly, I'm far more intelligent than them. Quite frankly, I'm far more informed than them. And I'm not afraid to say it just like that. You're not going to command what my worldview must be. I don't accept that. And you're not going to strip my rights as a result. And that's the attitude we need to take regarding this. Some people who believe the media and government are going to inform my worldview because they say so, and they try to push it off on me and then tell me my rights are going to be stripped as a result. Quite frankly, you don't know what I know. Quite frankly, you haven't studied what I've studied. Quite frankly, you haven't taken in the unimaginable amount of knowledge I've taken in. And I'll tell it to you just like that. Because what this is a form of violence. It's a form of indirect violence, but then it ultimately comes down to them stripping people's rights and becoming a form of direct violence. And let's go back to the slide because I want to show people what this actually is. See, the real reality of this is no one has the right to force a worldview upon others. We have the right to speak what the truth is. I can't ultimately force it on anybody. I could just show an ignorant person how they've been deceived. Just like I can't force my worldview on other people, no one can force their worldview on me or others. It's a form of violence to do that. And that's what I am calling here today, worldview violence. This is worldview violence, ladies and gentlemen. It's saying you must accept my worldview. And if you don't, I will support the stripping away of your rights. Are we going to tolerate that? We're going to say other people have the right to command how we must see reality and that we may not have an alternative perspective of reality? Well, I'll leave that for the viewing audience to ponder and consider. Are you going to accept that in your life? Because I know my answer. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that no matter what it comes down to, even if it comes down to physical altercation, so be it. But you will not tell me what I must think. You will not tell me what I must believe. You will not tell me that my years of study and knowledge are inferior to something a piece of trash paid liar on the television told me. I don't accept that. And neither should you. Because here's the truth of the matter, folks. Government, media, religion, doctors, and even scientists are not the arbiters of truth. Truth exists independently of any human being's perception of it. It is our goal to bring our perception into alignment with that which is, namely the truth. And we have to do that through a rigid truth discovery methodology and taking in high volumes of eclectic information from all over many different sources, even those we don't agree with. Putting them all together, logically weeding out all inconsistencies so that we distill it down to the base essence of that which is true. And only then can we say we have an accurate understanding of what is taking place. And most people do not do that process. Ladies and gentlemen, I do that process, and I'm not going to have people that don't do it tell me what I must believe because an expert said it. I will perform the truth discovery methodology process on the information myself and come to my own conclusion about it. And so should everyone else. So no one's going to tell me other people are the arbiters of truth. No one is the arbiter of truth, not even me. Not you, not anyone as an individual. The truth exists independently of our perception. It is our goal to align our perception with the truth, or with that which is. Secondly, the conclusions of government, media, religion, doctors, and scientists cannot be violently pushed upon others. That is called worldview violence. That is what I stand against. I stand against all forms of violence. I want there to be voluntary interaction among human beings. That is why I am a voluntarist/anarchist. It means no rulers, no masters, no one acting as a commander of others, no one acting as a ruler of others. There are still rules which are called natural law, which are the moral laws of the universe. But there are no rulers. There is not a ruling class and there is not a slave class. And that is what the people out there in our world today believe there is, and they believe there's moral legitimacy to it. Their conclusions do not mean that it is the truth, and their conclusions cannot be violently pushed upon others. That is what is unfortunately taking place in our world. And we need to apply the name to it. It's called worldview violence. And it should not be accepted any more than physical violence should, because worldview violence is going to lead to physical violence and lead to the stripping away of human rights. And we cannot allow that to happen. Let's jump into the second portion of the presentation here today, the real pandemics. So I've covered what I want to talk with you today about worldview violence and what it is. Now let's talk about the real pandemics in our society. And oh, there are many real pandemics. They're not what most people think that they are, but they are very real pandemics taking place in our world. And they are worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. They are not isolated pockets of illness in the human psyche. They are worldwide pandemics for sure. So let's jump into what these are. The lack of spirituality, the lack of true spirituality is probably the #1 worldwide pandemic. And people will hear this and they'll say, oh, that's a religious statement. No, it isn't. I stand against organized religion. I stand against dogmatic religion. You know, I don't believe any of that is true. I don't believe in atheism either. These are two false paradigms. As I've said over and over again on this show, it's a dialectic. It's a dialectic in consciousness to keep people away from the truth. Both of these paradigms are designed mental schisms. It's a designed mental schism, a socially engineered mental schism. And this is known as the Hegelian dialectic, to keep a lack of true spirituality in most people's life. Okay, that's what it is designed to do, and that's where we're at. This is a pandemic. Most people lack any form of true spirituality in their life, whether they are left brain dominant atheists whose worldview characteristics are that they believe matter is primary and that there's no such thing as God or spirit, that the material world is all there is, that only physical laws exist, but there are no laws that govern behavioral consequence, namely natural law, that science, quote unquote, is the arbiter of truth, not real science or real truth discovery, but science as comes down from official government-funded science and scientific institutions. And the consciousness is either purely mechanical or meaningless altogether. A totally left-brain dominant worldview that is not going to get anyone closer to the truth by 1 iota, okay, not by 1 sliver. And then we have the right-brain dominant religionist, you know, who believes in any of the organized religious dogmas of the world, and believes that their worldview characteristics are that they believe spirit is primary and God is all-powerful. The material world is evil or should be aesthetically shunned. God demands strict human obedience to his arbitrary and often conflicting set of rules. And the goals in the physical world shouldn't be even focused on, because rather we should focus on the promised afterlife with God. So ultimately in this worldview, action becomes meaningless. You see, both of these are to get people to basically get no closer to the truth. They're designed to steer people away from the truth, and they're ultimately designed to steer people into cul-de-sacs of meaningless action or inaction altogether. That is what these two worldviews are designed to do, and keep people with no true spirituality. The next real pandemic is the pandemic of fear. And that's what we're seeing play out in our world in a huge way. People with no knowledge just completely giving into fear. And the biggest fear is fear of the unknown, because fear of the unknown is what holds people back from knowledge and higher awareness. See, if you fear knowledge because you fear what you might discover, it is going to create a feedback loop of fear, because fear comes from lack of knowledge. Those who are informed are not in fear. Does it sound like I'm in a state of fear, ladies and gentlemen? The reason I'm not in a state of fear is because I'm in an extremely high level of knowledge and awareness. And when you're in an extremely high level of knowledge and awareness, you need fear nothing. Ignorance is what creates fear. Refusal of truth is what creates fear. I have no such fear because I've accepted what truth is, and I've aligned my perception to it. But here's where we're at, folks, societally. So it's not the coronavirus that is scary. It's how brainwashed and easily manipulated the masses of people can become. Truer words were never spoken. That's what we really should be concerned about. And guess what? We could be doing something about it, but how many of us are? Okay? We could be stepping up and trying to morally educate people, but you know what? That chorus of voices is extremely weak compared to the amount of voices that are constantly speaking the lie to everyone within earshot. That's all you got to do is ask yourself, which voice is more omnipresent and the loudest and the most powerful? Is it the voice of truth, or is it the voice of deception and lies? And I think if you're being honest with yourself, you will answer that question honestly and truthfully. Ignorance is the next pandemic. Again, it's the thing that leads people into deeper and deeper states of fear, which is what holds consciousness back. Ignorance is the refusal of truth, which leads to cowardice and inaction. So in this whole alleged virus pandemic, I have tried to give people information and books and videos to watch. I've sent people links to the Invisible Rainbow book by Arthur Furstenberg, which talks about, how diseases really develop in the body, how we are electrical beings, how, things turn on or off in the body depending on environment, depending on toxicity around the body. Hardly anybody will read it. Hardly anybody will look into it. I try to have discussions with people after sending them documents like this, or the book called What Really Makes You Ill, Why Everything You Thought You Knew About Disease is Wrong. Ask people, please look into some of this. Let's have a discussion on it. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I've read these and tried to understand what the authors are saying, what they're putting forward as an alternative worldview, and I'd like to have a discussion on it. People won't even look into it. That's called ignorance. That's called thinking you know enough, thinking you've been informed enough, and your ego being in the way of you taking in new information. Whether you accept it or not is irrelevant. It's taking it in first that is your job, looking at an other perspective, then making up your mind through a truth discovery process about whether it's accurate or not. Most people won't even go through the first step of the trivium, which is get the information first. That's the grammar step, which has to come first. You can't put anything before grammar. And look, we could talk about 10,000 books on the topic. These are just two I decided to put on my slide because I think they're excellent ones. How many people are doing this? All too few is the answer, folks. All too few. And that's the problem. They're staying in that place of ignorance, and that keeps driving their fear. And what does it lead to? It leads to inaction, because people aren't informed and they have no courage. They lack any sense of courage in their life. Cowardice is the next real pandemic that we are experiencing. And it's everywhere. You see people cowering, and as I like to call it, cowering under the staircase in the kingdom of the self. They don't just have cowardice to act externally, to apply willpower in the world. They don't even have courage internally in their own self. They haven't developed it to look at what's true and challenge their own worldview and belief system, because ultimately they're cowards of what they may find, and they don't want the responsibility that goes along with knowing. And I've said it a million times, folks. God hates cowardice. Now, call God whatever you want. I don't give a damn if you're uncomfortable with that term. Call it creation. Call it the underlying intelligence in the universe. Doesn't make a difference what you call it. The force which put all the laws of the universe into effect, including behavioral laws of the universe or moral laws of the universe, hates cowardice. And there's a reason. It wants evolutionary progress in consciousness to move forward. It wants to evolve. The universe wants to evolve. And cowardice is the force which, one of the biggest forces which stagnates evolutionary progress in consciousness. The universe hates cowardice. The universe hates cowards. And I just like to challenge even the viewing audience, at the risk of even insulting anyone, folks, get as offended as you like. How many of you have courageously put the word out there publicly with your real name on it? I'd suggest less than 1%. Okay? I'm going to scream loud and proud. My name is Mark Passio of WHATONEARTHISHAPPENING.com, and I'm going to provide testimony to the truth of what is taking place in our world right here and now on our planet.
I am.
That's my real name, and I'm not afraid. You know how many people are actually doing that? A piss-ant few. Okay? That's the answer. A piss in a pot. Tiny little droplet. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We should be doing way better and way more at this time period, and not leaving it to so-called experts. Don't even leave it to me. I should be drowned out in a sea, of course, of voices teaching natural law by this point. Okay? When I'm one of the handful doing it. And I mean a handful at best. The ancient philosopher Thucydides said that the society that separates its scholars from its warriors will have its thinking done by cowards and its fighting by fools. And we're there, folks. This is that time of judgment where we are there. So many people who consider themselves well-informed are total cowards. And the people who are absolute know-nothing, just jar-headed, just shit for brains, actually are out there saying that they're going to do the fighting on behalf of society. I mean, you guys are utter jarhead clowns, okay? And the people who believe that you're fighting for our freedom are even bigger clowns. Apathy is the next worldview pandemic. It's really the final one of all. This is the one that really makes the slavery system continue and perpetuate. Now, most of this listening audience, viewing audience, is not in a state of apathy. You guys do care about what's going on. The problem is you need to convert that care into right action, into courage and right action, by putting your voices out there publicly and not being afraid. Make the people who are claiming authority as real afraid. Okay? We need to turn the tables and they need to be afraid. Okay? First of all, they are afraid of the truth. They're afraid of the truth getting out there, that their whole system's a big crock of crap and never had any moral legitimacy to it. But apathy is the next big pandemic. And it is the death of care. To say, I don't care about what's going on, to say, I don't care about the loss of freedoms, is what perpetuates humanity enslavement and keeps us in the prison as an entire world, as an entire species. I don't care creates the prison for everyone. It creates the prison planet. These two images are exactly equal. It's a mathematical equation that works that way 100% of the time flawlessly according to law in the universe. I don't care creates a prison for us all. On the last couple minutes, let's get into what I call solutions. It's actual spiritual solutions. This is a spiritual problem. Let's look at what the real solutions are. We need a development worldwide of true spirituality, not atheism, not the rejection of all spirituality, not the rejection of the spiritual aspect of our being, but also not rigid, organized religious dogmatism. But neither one of those things leads to the truth. They are dialectics to divide people and keep them away from the truth. Real spirituality, first and foremost, the first tenet of real spirituality is that it cannot include the belief in the moral legitimacy of authority and government. And if there's not enough time to just entirely flesh out this dynamic in this short presentation, this is a short form presentation, folks, can't get to it all in one. But I go into this extensively in my seminars called Natural Law, the Real Law of Attraction, and how to apply it in your life, and Streetwise Spirituality. What does it truly mean to be awake? And if you're new to my work or you haven't watched these seminars, you need to watch them in their entirety, perhaps multiple times, and really absorb the knowledge deeply that is in these two seminars. Because this is what self-mastery is all about. Understanding the laws of the universe, understanding natural law, and then actually applying that true spirituality in one's life through our behaviors, through our actions, in the right way, through right action. The next way out of these real pandemics is self-respect. True respect, true looking again at the qualities of ourself as an individual. Self-respect is the true healer. You want to cure the real pandemic? You want to cure the real human sickness? Then apply the true healer, which is self-respect, first and foremost. This is the development of internal courage, to look at the truth and then to speak the truth publicly. Not just to your family and friends where you think it's safe. It needs to be out there publicly in a courageous way where you're telling people, I'm not afraid. You know, here's a self-respect starter kit for the viewing audience, for anybody listening, okay? And I know a lot of the people who are you know, in attendance at this conference here today virtually have already done these things, but I'm talking about for anyone watching after the fact, you know, through the recorded presentation on the internet. Turn off the lying, fear-mongering, state-controlled media. It is an affront to self-respect. Stop believing that others have the right to command you. There is no such right. There is so much moral right. So that's my timer to say, wrap it up. So let's get to the last thing. It's the development of true courage. Okay? This is the way out of the real pandemic, folks. True courage. Courage is the universe's protection. It's universal protection. We talk about, you know, protective equipment, you know, to shield us from illness. This is the real universal protection to shield us from spiritual illness. That's what courage is. Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. The people who are stepping up, the people who are saying, no, we're not going to have this. We're going to go back to our lives. We're not going to take government mandates. We're not going to take government commands because you don't have the right to command us. We are free and we're going to act like it. You know, stepping into that kind of courage creates the universe's protection. I'm protected because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what can be done to me in the physical domain. And you know what real protection is going to come in the form of? Stepping into the courage to teach natural law. You want to talk about an even much higher level of protection. People say to me, Mark, are you afraid what these people might do to you? Not a bit, not for a second. They better be afraid of what, if it comes down to physical altercation, I'll do, or other people who are going to defend their rights and freedom will do. Okay? I'm not afraid of what they're going to do. Okay? And you know why? I have the protection of universal law. I have the protection of the creator of the universe. You want to say that's a religious statement? No, absolutely it is not. That's a spiritual understanding. If you exercise courage for the right things and you teach the right things and you teach natural law, mighty forces of creation will come to your assistance and aid in your life, in all your endeavors. And that is where my protection comes from. We don't want it to come down to the lost word, ladies and gentlemen, to the last word. That's why we have to say the lost word, okay? We want to say the lost word. We don't want it to have to come down to the last word of physical rebellion because it's rapidly going in that direction and that's going to get very, very messy. That doesn't go with surgical precision, ladies and gentlemen. That goes with extreme messiness. And a lot of innocents get caught up in that. Okay, if you study history, you will understand that. So we have to say the lost word, which is no, and we need to fall in love with it. This is the lost word. We have to say no to evil. We have to say no to authoritarianism. We have to say no to worldview violence. We have to say no to external control. No one has the right to externally control, rule, or command us. And we need to fall in love with that word. That is a vibratory energy of courage and protection, the word no. No, you don't own me. No, I am not your slave. No, you don't have the right to command me and others. No one does. So folks, it looks like this, the lost word. Through the knowledge of natural law, a truly awakened human being is finally able to speak the lost word, which is no. No is the word of all power. And only when we say no to those who would claim to be our owners do we stop externalizing our power, and in doing so, reclaim all of our natural rights. Defeating the real pandemics which plague humanity requires the development and application of true knowledge, true care, and true courage. And that happens when we start to say no to those who would claim to be the rulers of our lives. And when you look at the word no, ladies and gentlemen, you realize it's just another form of the word on. It's just on flipped upside down. Because when we say the lost word no to those who consider themselves our authority, we are truly embracing and turning on the light inside each and every one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and attention.
Okay, people, hang on a minute. Let me go back. Stop sharing. Where am I? Colette, if you're seeing the one that's got over, hang on, I'm losing myself here. Let me find myself. Oops, hang on. What was that? Okay, hang on. Let me get rid of some shit. Hang on. I'm trying to do this. Okay, now I should be able to go back where I was. Colette, if you're seeing the one that's got over 7K subscribers, that's the one that they refuse flatly, no matter what personal information he gives them, they will not allow him in. And yet there's ads running on that particular channel. They've been making money off it. Somebody's taken the money. He's not getting any because he can't get into it. He not so long ago opened up a second, obviously a second backup channel. I subbed to it only the other day because I realized that it was a new one and it was his backup. But yeah, he's been trying for ages, Aussie, to get into that channel. They will not let him get in. Emails to Google, whatever, giving them all the information, personal information, yada, yada, will not even let him get into that channel so that he can delete it. Will not give him access. And whoever is ringing, for fuck's sake, quit it, because I don't pick up my landline anymore, so go somewhere else and amuse yourself. Sorry, people, but that's what's been happening on my landline for ages now. The landline rings, I pick it up, and the person at the other end doesn't even bother to say hello. They don't, they just hang up. So the landline is no longer used in this house. You'll have to try harder, you know. But yeah, that basically, people, was in protest because of what, continuously happens to True Patriot. And like I said, one guy is saying the same thing, and it's not like True Patriot was saying. He was mirroring the guy's video just like I did. And that's an offense. That's against guidelines. It clearly says under the guy's video that you can replay it, that you can pretty much fucking share it. Sid's dad, who knows? I mean, they took down David Icke, and like I say to you people, it's not about the fucking messenger. It's the messages that these people are trying to get out, It's the messages that people are trying to get out. Not about the messenger. Whether you like the messenger or you don't even fucking look at that. Don't even look at that. And always take only what resonates to you. You don't have to listen to everything. I follow these people, but I don't listen to everything. I don't agree with everything that they say. Do you know what I mean? But it's the message that they're trying to push out there to people, as in stand up, as in quit the fucking bullshit, quit the blindness, and say don't, of don't rock my boat. I mean, you might be living all cushy and fine today, but what about fucking tomorrow? You think you're exempt from all the bullshit? You're not. You're not. I mean, I've been with True Patriot for so fucking long, and I've watched them. Channel after channel gets removed. It's like, what the fuck? He's saying the same fucking shit that others say. He's replaying other people's stuff that you get off YouTube. It's all there on freaking YouTube. So how can you take somebody's channel away? I can guarantee you, if he did have 3 strikes, I can guarantee you that every strike that he got was because he ran something that he got off fucking YouTube. It's what I don't get. It's what I don't get. That's why I say, what do the ones that have a shitload of fucking subscribers, because they're bringing more money in, what, we're going to allow them a little bit extra leeway? I mean, what is it? Just pisses me off, because I can see the rules and regulations and all the fucking bullshit, no matter where it is, different strokes for different folks. I never liked rules. I never will like fucking rules. It just annoys me that some people can play shit and some people can say that is shit and nothing gets done. You know, nobody fucking hurts them. I mean, I don't know if Max Egan was monetized. If memory serves me correctly, I don't think so. I think he was getting donations from people, but I don't know that he was monetized. Same with David Icke. But yeah. And I had to laugh the other day, you know. I seriously had to laugh the other day because here was me a week and a half ago, talking to you guys about how easy it would be to split Australia up into little countries. And then a week later, Max Egan comes out and he's talking to some guy, and the guy says that an agreement was made years ago to turn the states in Australia into little cantons, into little countries. You know, we're all saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. We just use different terminology and we put it in different sentences. But still, like I says, is there a need for different strokes for different folks? You know, what, you only count if you pull the fucking bucks in? I demonetized my channel, people. You know when? When they took my channel down because of a fucking spider video. How many videos do you see on YouTube about spiders? They took it down because of a spider video. That's when I turned around and I thought, oh, go fuck yourself. This is bullshit. Bullshit. And again, I'm going to repeat, if anybody hasn't watched part 1 and part 2 of Cleaners, it's on YouTube. It's a documentary. Part 1, there's part 1 and part 2. You'll know if you got the right Cleaners, if it's part 1 and part 2. Okay? Go watch it and see how they censor countries, how your government literally sends these fuckers instructions. We do not want our people seeing this. Every other country will see it, except for yours. Why? Because the government has told them to delete all those videos. Like I says, what's the point? People are fighting the arms on an octopus. It's a constant fucking never-ending battle. Literally cut the fucking head off the bastard. Cut the fucking head off the bastard. And I'm not quite sure, but doesn't an octopus's arms fucking grow back or something? Is that, or am I thinking of a lizard? I don't fucking know. But, you know. Well, Jacqueline, apparently it was John Howard that made the agreement with China, I think it was, to turn all the little states in Australia into little countries. Apparently the guy's going to try and find the document so that he can show the document. I did go on the hunt because he said it was back 24 or 26 years ago or something or other. So I went back to see if I could find it, but I had no luck in finding it. So, but if the guy comes back with the actual document and I do get to see the document, I'll put it in a small video and say, well, here's the document. But this is happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere. And the only reason they're doing it is because, like I said, if you're one country, you have a decent army, you have a decent military, you have a decent defense mechanism. But if that country is cut up by the states and turned into little countries, what have you got? You got shit. You got shit. What, you got two people with a fucking salad fork, one with a fucking pitchfork, and one that might have a homemade fucking gun. And people say, oh, they're not going to take our guns away from us, this, that, and the other. Bull fucking crap. Bull fucking crap. You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. People need to stand the fuck up. Do you know, I seriously, I could have swore that if shit started getting nasty here in Australia, and this is going out to the Aussies, I seriously fucking thought that people here, I mean, everybody's pretty relaxed here, you know, they're pretty relaxed. But I kind of figured that if shit was going to go down in any kind of fashion, that there would be a fucking mega shitload of people standing up going, fuck you. I am stunned as to what is happening in Australia and that people are just going along with the murder, because that's what it is. It's murder. They're murdering your elderly. They're murdering the disabled. They're murdering fucking people. And I'm sorry, but as for flags, it's nothing but a piece of fucking material. It's nothing but a piece of fucking material. Shit like that was invented so that people could divide and hate each other, you know? It's just another fucking category to fight over. Don't stand on my flag, don't burn my flag. Who the fuck cares? It's a piece of fucking material. Get the fuck over all of this shit. I was watching the Trump rallies the other night. Oh my God, what a fucking shit show. What a fucking shit show. I'm looking at these people and I'm thinking to myself, do you not fucking get it? You're out there, some are wearing masks, some are not wearing masks, and they're fighting. Fights literally broke out. Over who? Over the same fucking people that are suppressing you, that are oppressing you, that are fucking, that have got you by the fucking throat, right, that have pushed you down so deep in fucking shit that you've only got a little ways to go before you won't be able to breathe, period. And I'm thinking, how is it that people can't see? Oh, it's the left, it's the right, it's the Democrats, it's the Liberals, it's the fucking Labours, it's the Green people. They're all the same fucking bunch of wankers. Same bunch of fucking wankers. I keep repeating myself. It should be obvious to people. The murder machine, war, okay? You keep sacrificing your kids. I see people putting up videos about how demonic and this is and demonic that is and Satan and yada yada and that this is an occult and there's sacrifices and human sacrifices. You sacrifice your fucking child every time you have a party and send it off into the military. You do it willingly. And you have a party to fucking celebrate. Aussie, exactly. It's every government. They're all in it. It's every fucking government. It's not just mine. It's not just somebody else's that's standing on a different chunk of dirt. It's every fucking one of them. The meaning, what meaning behind the flag? I don't get it. What meaning? What does it mean? What respect? What respect for your country, Addie? And please don't take offense, but I've always wanted to be able to understand why people have that thought, okay? Respect for your nation for what? For murdering other people? For murdering its own people? For leaving its own people homeless? For making it illegal to feed those homeless people? Respect for what fucking nation? Respect for what fucking country? And that applies to every country. That applies to every country. Not just United States. So don't anybody get personally offended, all right? Before anybody does. Because when I talk about everybody. Everybody. I'm not going to have my children killed over the Australian flag. Are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? Jesus. What I'm going to turn around and say, and no disrespect to people, because we were all programmed. We are all pre-programmed, okay? Some of us have woken up, some haven't. But for me to turn around and say to somebody, thank you for your service, never going to fucking happen out of my mouth. Not going to happen. To me, that's insanity. I'm thanking somebody for going somewhere to kill people who they don't fucking know and had no business of being there. Again, don't matter what fucking country it is. Mate, I don't care. Take whatever fucking flag of mine you want, put it on the dirt, take a good ass fucking dump on it, rip it up, set fire to it, put it in the fucking barbecue and fry your sausages on it. You think I'm going to give a shit? You think I'm going to care? Listen, I don't need anybody, okay? I don't need anybody to protect my ass. Nobody's coming to save anybody. You got to stand up and save your fucking self. You got to stand up and save yourself. What if somebody starts attacking Australia? What, I'm going to sit here and go, oh, praise Jesus, where are the Americans, or where is the UK, or where is whatever to come save my ass? Do you know? It's us about saving us. It's us about fucking saving each other. And I'm not talking in a military fucking sense. I'm talking about neighbour helping fucking neighbour. Addie, if you think that the people in the United States will not have their guns taken away from them, think again. Think again. Hopefully the internet goes long enough. I'd hate to see it. But Putin sent out a message, and I wish I could fucking find that, sent out a message to the people of the United States a long time ago. Do not let go of your weapons. You think they're just going to come knock on your door and take them. They're not going to do that. They're going to be conniving. They're going to be conniving. How many more are on unemployment now since COVID? All dependent on the government. Dependent on the government. Well, we're not going to give you a check unless you hand over your guns. You got kids. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Of course you're going to hand over your guns. You don't get a vaccine, or if you don't get a vaccine, you've got to hand over your guns. We'll make you exempt then you don't have to get one, but otherwise they can come up with whatever motherfucking bullshit they want to. Why? Because people aren't fighting back. People aren't fighting back. The military, Addie, is nothing but a murder machine. It's a murder machine. That's all it is. A murder machine that sticks its nose into another country's business where it's not allowed, for the purpose just to gain power and control, or to move the masses. That is it. Oh, your gun on your hip, mate. Even if you can open carry your gun on your hip, don't do squat. You know, you're walking around with a mask on your face, but you got a gun on your hip? Really? Come on. Wake up. Wake up. No offense, but fucking wake up. You were told to isolate. Everybody ran back in their homes, but you got a gun on your hip. Wear a mask, but you got a gun on your hip. Makes no fucking sense. Think about it. And I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just telling you what's obvious. Roadhog, even that. Even that. Even that. Like I said, there's many ways to strip people of their weapons. Colette, no, take it one step further. All they had to do was on mainstream media say, get out on your balcony and start clapping like a fucking seal. And everybody did it. Oh my God. Ah! Yeah. Addie, they don't care what's in your fucking constitution. They don't care what's in anybody's fucking constitution. People can keep referring to this constitution. It's gone, dude. Can you not see what they're doing to people? Like I said, across the whole world. Stand in your driveway, stand on your balcony, stand on your fucking head. And keep going. What constitution? Addie, it doesn't bother me, okay? It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that people don't want to listen. People don't want to do their own research. They can turn around and say that somebody's crapping, but they won't take time out enough to literally fucking research. China didn't overtake Australia, okay? Didn't overtake. It didn't come to our shores and literally take any land. And this goes for every fucking country, okay, or for most, right? The Australian government has sold the land off to China, to Japan, to any other fucking country. The centre of Australia, CIA owned. So you got a part in this fucking country too, dude. Happens everywhere. Read yours, dude. I have been listening to nothing but the Constitution of the United States. I can tell you now. I don't know a lot about it, but I probably know more about the United States Constitution than I do the fucking Australian one. And I can tell you now, mate, it's worthless. Worthless. Where is your freedom of speech? We think that this is freedom of speech. This is not freedom of speech. Where is your freedom of speech? You're in open air prisons and you don't even know that you're in open air prisons. Can you travel? Can you travel without permission? No, you can't. Why do you think they slap a felony on your fucking ass as soon as for a minor fucking thingy, and then they go, oh, well, you know, if you've got a felony or whatever, you can't get a passport. And you think you're free? Why? Because you're walking on this side of the concrete fence and not the other side? Where's the Constitution? Where's anybody's fucking Constitution? Where are anybody's fucking rights? Jacqueline, exactly. Thank you, Rode, from another American. Thank you. The US Constitution is null and void. Thank you. And if people can't fucking see that, I don't know. Yeah. Addie, as far as I'm concerned, to me, a flag is a piece of material. So, you know, let's not even go there. It's just a fucking piece of material. When I see people go and fucking apeshit ballistic over a fucking flag, to me, it's like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Line them all up, take a big ass fucking shit on them and rip them. And like I said, put them in the barbie, cook your fucking snaggers over the top. Terribly sorry, Addie, but that's the way it is. My opinion. My opinion. Oh, listen, I'll come across Australians here. Don't step on the flag, don't this, don't that. Come on. Come on. Like, really, look at it. What are you fighting over? What are you fighting over? A piece of fucking material. A piece of pretty material. A piece of pretty material. I would be more pissed off if you took something that I created, that I stitched and put together as far as a dress or something. I'd get more pissed off if you fucking stood on that and burnt that or threw that in the barbie than I would anybody's flag. Anybody's. Because that's just another fucking divide and hate. Like politics, the left and the rights, like religion, all the different religions, all fucking categories that you can fight over. That's all it is. What flag, you know? Look how the vets get treated. Later, Addie. Look how the vets get treated. Is that not enough of an eye-opener to people? Is that not enough of an eye-opener? How many videos have you seen where they actually experiment on the people that have gone into the military by giving them Lord knows what kind of fucking injections? How many videos have you watched? What, they're treated nicely? They're treated with respect? They don't give a flying fuck. You're doing their dirty work, period. You're doing their dirty work. We're killing each other off for their benefit. Not for ours, for their benefit. Why doesn't he? Because Pam Trump is no different. Trump to Biden to Morrison to whatever fucking name they have. It's called a different name, same shit. You know, a same shit, different name. They're not there to give a fuck about you. They're not there to do that. They've never given a fuck. Try going to any government department. There's all these fucking government departments out there. Try going to one and see if you can get assistance when you really fucking need it. Oh, we can't help you, but here's a number. You call the next number. It's another government department. You explain your situation. Oh no, we can't help you, but here's another number. All government departments, they're not there to fucking care about you. They don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter what chunk of dirt you stand on. It doesn't matter about the name of the person that is supposedly leading you, because that's what they're doing, is leading you, except they're not leading you into a good fashion. They're leading you off the edge of the cliff. We go after the government and we say, oh, they're destroying the planet. No, you are. You are. You are the workers. You are the workers on the mines. You are the workers in the fracking stations. You are the workers in cutting down trees. You are the work. You are doing it. Those fuckers that are sitting up top ain't doing squat. Ain't doing squat. They're just telling you, oh, here, clean piece of dirt. We want you to go dig. They're not digging. You are doing it. Oh, fracking is no good. What about the people that work there? You know, it goes back to the farmers. Right back to the farmers. We want you to sell genetically modified seed, or we want you to grow it. How is it the farmers don't know about genetically modified shit? What, they're just going along with it? Do they not realize that that seed that they grow gets sold to companies that turn it into flour, that make it into bread, that comes back and they feed their kids with it? It's you that's doing it. They're the ones that suggest. They're the ones that program you or point you into that direction, but you are the one that is doing it. We have nobody else to blame. We don't. Nobody. But ourselves. Nobody else to blame. I don't like any government. But there's no pointing the finger at them anymore. Because we ain't doing shit. We ain't doing shit. And no matter what you do, you will never be good enough for them. The elderly that they fucking murder. They didn't murder. They, as in the government, didn't murder my parents. The doctors, in turn, Huge fucking negligence as far as medication, okay? Big pharma, yes, all right? But my parents never asked for a fucking cent from the government. From the day they came into this country, never asked a motherfucking cent. They busted their asses off from 5 o'clock in the morning until ungodly hours of the fucking night. Both of them, one on one tractor, one on the other tractor, growing seed, getting out there. You don't get a babysitter for your kids. We as little kids went with my ma. She used to sit us on the truck so that we never got bit by a snake while she picked mallee roots. When it came to the crunch and I needed assistance from my parents towards the end, do you think I could fucking find it? I was finding people who wanted to fucking knock them off. Frigging nurses, supposedly, that wanted to turn my father's oxygen down. So don't think they're out there. Don't think they're out there because of you, because they care, because they don't. They're just pointing you in the direction they want you to go do the work in. So who are we going to blame? We can't blame them. Later, Ozzy. Thanks for hanging. We can't blame them. Well, we can, because we like to blame somebody else, instead of assuming responsibility of our own shit. We love pointing the finger at somebody else. But it's not them. It's called do not comply. Do not fucking comply. Absolutely. Absolutely, God. And they made it that way. They made it that way. So if they don't fucking kill you one way, they can kill you another fucking way. I was talking to a lady yesterday. The topic was healthy food and growing one's own food and whatever. And I was saying to her, all these programs and whatever, oh, you need to eat healthy, you got to eat healthy, you got to whatever. They put you in a position, or you put yourself in a position where you can't eat healthy because you're dependent on the government. The government is they've worked it out. They've worked it out. They're going to give you enough money so that you pay the main things, which is your rent, possibly your mortgage, your electricity, your water, so that they can't be held accountable. Then you can't say, well, you never helped me. They did. Whatever is left for food after that, you can't afford organic food because it's too expensive. If organic food was so good for you, why is it not fucking cheaper than all the junk that is there? Later, Pam. Yeah, it just infuriates me. It just pissed me off when I saw that True Patriot fucking had another channel taken down. People, for those of you that don't know him, like I said, you don't look at the fucking messenger, but listen to the fucking message. Listen to the message. I mean, social media has become nothing more than if you're appealing to the fucking eye, then you might make it. If you're appealing to the eye. And that's what pisses me off. And I hate what I had to do to Jesse earlier on. I've blocked him. Unless he comes back with a bogus channel now, another fucking second channel, third channel, whatever channel, he can come back. But I don't care what your fucking name is. I'm not going to have people abuse people. Especially not people who try so hard over and over and over and over again, channel after fucking channel after fucking channel, to try and get truth out to people. And then what? You're a dumb fuck? Or whatever the case you want to call somebody? No, not here. Not here. I mean, if Pam was here, she could tell you. She had all her fucking playlists. She had all her playlists removed. YouTube removed all her playlists. She started following. She was hanging out with me and I put her onto True Patriot, and then she started hanging out there. The next thing she's saying to me, they've deleted all my playlists. And I says to her, what fucking kind of playlist did you have? She goes, the same as yours. I says, oh, it's the company you keep. They're giving you a warning. You can't do that, because if you do that, we're going to remove your shit. See how they do it? Your mouth is not out of control, Colette. Your mouth is not out of control. Neither is mine. Neither is fucking whoever's True Patriots. Neither. Whoever is trying to bring people fucking to get to the point where they need to open their eyes or to see something. Just have an open mind. Just say, okay, it might be possible. You hear people saying every day, oh yeah, that might be possible, or maybe. Well, if you get that fucking far, then look into what you're listening to. Look into it. At least be that little bit open fucking minded. Don't just hear something and close yourself off to it. I've said heaps of times, just because you haven't experienced it, it doesn't make it not fucking true. And a lot of things are hard to fucking swallow. A lot of things are hard to fucking swallow because we've been lied to for so fucking long. We don't really fucking know what exists out there. We don't. I mean, I know what people think when I say about, hey, I think I'm on a flat earth. Why? Because I know for a fucking fact I'm not upside down. I've seen reptilians, reppies. She's nuts. Don't believe in that UFO bullshit. Well, just because you haven't seen them, don't make it not true. God, absolutely. It's all about unity. It's all about fucking unity. It's all about numbers. All about fucking numbers. But they have divided everybody so fucking badly that my question is, how do you get past that? I mean, it's great for the 12 people that are here on my channel, if we all agree and say we got to do gardening. But look where the fuck we all are. I'm on one side of the fucking country. Gut's on another side of the fucking country. Colette's in the United States. Jacqueline, I'm not sure where she is. We're all over the joint. How are we going to get together and fucking do gardening? Do you know what I mean? It's really, I find that fascinating too. I find that extremely fascinating. That you can't seem to, in one spot, get a shitload of fucking people that are happy to fucking get together. I mean, we were talking about like people going onto the same block of land and whatever and doing that in my last live stream, I think it was. And I was saying the problem with that, because I even checked to see if Perth had a community like that. None of them had the funds. They were all happy to do it, but nobody had the funds to buy the fucking property. Nobody had the funds to buy the property. Then you're going to come across those same people who it was all good and well while you're talking about it and planning it, but then once it comes down to, I mean, I grew up on a farm. Once it comes down to you got to get up in the morning and it's morning till night and you gotta keep fucking working along with everybody else to produce your own food. It doesn't mean drop a seed in the fucking dirt and forget about it. Sid's dad, exactly. Exactly. You have no idea how many times I've heard people turn around and say, oh, well, you know, he's a hillbilly, he's a this, he's a that, he's a whatever, you know, because they're looking at him. If they couldn't see him, they would have a different thought. Hey.com. Yeah, no, the only reason that I mentioned him, mate, don't thank me for that. I don't personally follow the guy, but I'm pissed off because his video was played by a friend of mine who got his channel taken down because of that. So my query is, does it make a difference as to how much money you make for YouTube or how many subscribers you got? So today's live stream, the fact that I played it in protest for my friend, True Patriot. It didn't matter if it came under somebody else's name. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have mattered. But it just pisses me off, even though he had the right to play it. That's why I thought I'm going to play it. And let's see if they take my stream down. Let's see if they take my channel down like they did his. Because that was the video that he was playing. I even got a notification in my channel here. But when I went to the link, when I was told to go to the actual link that would take me to the video, channel's gone. He fishes and says nothing wrong with the fish as he tested them. Yeah, Jacqueline, I beg to differ about that, because when I was doing videos on Oroville Dam, I actually went to check because of all that. Not only that, but the nuclear plants that are based on all the waterways and whatever, and how much shit actually goes into all the waterways. And if you tested the bottom of those rivers and whatever, all the fucking junk that comes back from mercury to aluminium to this, that, and the other, you know, the smaller the fish, maybe very, very little mercury. The bigger the fish, bigger mercury, because bigger fish eat smaller fish. But yeah, I don't know. It's a sad fucking world we live in. Ain't nothing nice about it, and ain't nothing fucking interesting about it either. I've even heard some say it's an exciting time we live in. No, it fucking ain't. No, it fucking ain't. The oceans are full of shit. The oceans are full of human trash. We're killing off every animal on the fucking planet. And we all want to fight over a chunk of dirt. We want to fight over a piece of material. We want to fight over left and right. We want to fight over... You don't even know what you're eating anymore. We've been pumping our bodies with chemicals for a long fucking time. And we wonder why so many are sick. They know what they're doing. You just don't know what you're doing. They tell you, this is what you can do. Oh, this here is good for you. This is yummy. This is really good because we're recycling the water so that we can bring it to you if you're in a place that hasn't got water. It's good. And you accept the fact that drinking your own piss and shit and every other fucker's piss and shit, you accept the fact that that's okay. They do it to you. They've done it to all of us. Oh, flubber, it ain't just the fucking Japanese. Like I said, pointing the finger is easy. Pointing the finger is easy. How much sewage by different countries gets emptied into the fucking oceans? Sewage alone. Flubber, I get it. Yes, it is sad, mate. And I've watched some of those videos, and a lot of them I can't watch anymore. I still follow the channel, and I put it out there, and I hit the like button, but I can't watch the videos, okay? But it's also sad to watch children being blown up, those same children that people say have a right to life, but nobody asks them that before they fucking blow them to smithereens. Where they're born normal, but you see them in hospital with no fucking limbs left. It's all fucking sad. It's all sad. It's all sad. People tend to want to stick their nose into everything that doesn't concern them, except for looking at oneself in the mirror and going, what can I do today to try and help somebody fucking else? Without literally stepping on their path. To help somebody else doesn't mean you have to fucking literally stick your nose into their business. I mean, God, I watch fucking channels on YouTube where people are going off at somebody, and you should be doing it like this, and you should be doing it like that, and you should be here or whatever, and da 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 da. And I'm going, come on, like what? The rest of everybody's perfect, but that one person is doing the wrong. Who the fuck are we? Like I said, this is not an exciting time to live in. This is either wake the fuck up or it's over time to live in. There you go. I was telling you people the other day, there you go, straight from Colette's mouth. Colette was the one that said to me that she went to the beach and it says don't get in the fucking water because you'll get hepatitis C. Colette, can you please tell everybody where that was or where that is? Jacqueline, that's all you can do, mate. That's all you can do. You know, sometimes you just got to fucking stand on your own. And if that's what you've got to do, it's not easy, but stay fucking that way. I mean, if they're putting signs up, literally saying, don't get in the fucking water because you'll get hepatitis C, what the fuck does that tell you about the shit that lives in that water? All of it. The fish, the dolphins, the fucking whales, the sharks, you name it. What does that tell you? They live in that. They didn't create that. They didn't create that mess. Humans did. We did. We did. Because it's never enough. It's never enough. Know your realm, I told you. It all comes down to shit, mate. They should make that word shit something that they study in universities. Well, they already fucking do. People are making money off it. Take a dump 5 days a week and yeah. And we'll just feed your shit to somebody else. Beautiful. Lovely. Fucking lovely. Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, and I don't know how many of you follow True Patriot, but I, for one, will miss his videos until he gets. I'll find him on DLive. Oh, by the way, people, you can find him on DLive if you do look for him on DLive. His DLive is that's his DLive, T Patriot 1. He may start posting on his backup channel that he started not so long ago. If he does, I will put a link somewhere, either in the description or in comments under some of my videos or whatever, so that you can find him again. But yeah. It's all about money. It's all about who you know. It's all about connections as to, they scratch each other's backs. The rest of you, don't wait for anybody to come save you. Save your fucking selves. Save yourselves. Oh, okay, Colette. It's just that I see DLive put the two words together, so I always assume it's just one word. But T Patriots, I've only ever seen it come up in search as T Patriot 1 as being one word. So .com, that doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all, mate. If you go back in my older videos, you will see I posted videos about shit flowing into the ocean. They closed the beach. Shit flowing into the ocean. Look at India. India's government and how much money they spend on all their experiments, on all their little big toys for big boys, and look where their people shit. They shit on the coastlines. They live in the slummed areas. Have you seen the rivers? Have you seen where people get their water from? We are doing this to ourselves. They just point us in the right direction. I even did a video in the United States how they love it because there was a flood happening. Shit was flooding out, right? They love that because then all the sewage gets mixed up in that flooding water, all that fucking rain that came down, shit gets mixed in there. There was a pig farm, if I remember. All the fucking shit slops got mixed into that water. Then there's all the, what do you call them? The nuke plants that are on the waterways that some got flooded or whatever it was. People had to get fucking evacuated. All in the water system. All in the water system. All in the waterways. People go fishing. Yeah, no. Not happening, Jack. Oh, listen. Even if and when, because it's a matter of when, it's not even a matter of if. When there is no animal left, if it gets that far, if there's no animal left to walk this earth, people still won't rise up. They'll still be happy with whatever the government sticks on the fucking shelf. Don't matter if it's Orelli's you're eating, you'll just pretend you don't know. Later, people, whoever is leading, who's leaving? Road Dog, later, mate. Sid's dad, later. But yeah, this wasn't meant to be a long stream. I just put it up in protest. The True Patriot. You know, like I said, different strokes for different fucking folks. .com, I pick shit to pieces. That's all I do, you know. I pick shit to pieces. People ask me sometimes, they will send me a comment or whatever, or an email or whatever, and say, oh, can you look into such and such, which I tried to do. This is going ages back, where the indigenous, the Indian, was it the native Indian Canadian, was it in Canada? I think it was in Canada. Their women were disappearing. Their women were disappearing. And somebody obviously came across my channel and they sent me an email and asked me, can I look into it? And I did. And I put the video up. You know how long the video lasted? A couple of days. Taken down. Taken down. You know? Like I said, if they can take down a spider fucking video, hey. But yeah, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off the fact that it always pisses me off at the fact that people try and bring people the truth. And you know, people want to report them for that. If somebody was showing their tits on fucking YouTube, would you go fucking report them? They're trying to bring you the truth. Tits you can see every fucking day around yourself, you know? I mean, hey, go check out my COVID list where I've got tampons, showing tampons up people's noses, in people's ears, and even up somebody's ass. The video's still there. The video is still there. So, yeah. Save yourselves, people. Try and find people around you that think the same as you and start something, anything, whatever you can, whatever you can. But do something. Do something for yourself, for your family, for whoever else you can help that wants to listen to you, you know? That wants to listen to you. Because at this time, if you continue hanging with people that fucking don't and want to keep putting you down, don't even bother. Don't even bother. I can't. My what's the word? My patience span is wearing fucking thin. It's wearing thin. I'm sick of fucking oversensitive people. I'm just fucking sick of people assuming without asking. Yeah, it's very thin. Jacqueline, it doesn't surprise me, mate. It does not surprise me at all. It does not surprise me at all. It really doesn't. I said the amount, I mean, you guys know that follow me. How many times have I put up videos about Rona and how she's crawling into everything and up everything and come on, people, wake up. Come on, people, wake up. Melbourne, fight back. Come on, all the other fucking states, stand up for fucking Melbourne. How many of those videos have I put out there, okay? And in a chat the other day, I go in there and joking, because I try not to offend people, okay? Joking, I turn around and go, oh, you guys on the eastern states, you need to stay over there. Don't fucking come over to our side. You have got COVID. I was told to go fuck myself. Bang, straight off the mark. Read the comment, straight off the mark. Didn't ask, what do you mean? Didn't ask, where are you? Didn't ask, are you joking? Didn't ask what? And then later, that same person tries to palm it off as, oh, that's how we talk to each other. No, we fucking don't. No, we fucking don't. Will I go back there again? No, I won't. No, I won't. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But don't put somebody else down for you know, whatever. I mean, we're trying to get fucking information out there to show. I don't want to see any of yous being dragged by the nose. I don't want to see any of yous being fooled. I don't want to see any of my family being fooled. And I will start with my family, but if that's the road that they're prepared to fucking take, there's nothing I can do to change that. Nada. Do you know what I mean? Nothing I can do, and that's starting with my own family. She said you'd become an idiot. Mate, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And this will happen more and more, people. Colette, I heard a guy say that if it ain't going to stop a fart, it ain't going to stop you getting COVID. Oh, I can't even remember who sent me the fucking video clip the other day of this guy, and he's sitting there and he's got his mask on, and he takes a drag, I think, off a cigar or something, and he blows the smoke underneath the mask. Okay. Then he takes something else and he blows that through the mask to show people exactly how much gets through the fucking mask. What's that? Perth Observer, it can't be all bad after all. You must still hear broadcasting. A tune for all of us. Feels so good. It'll get worse. It'll get worse, people. I'm telling you. It'll get fucking worse. You're going to start getting attacked. You'll start getting attacked by your own family. Do you know that my father, this is years ago, except he was talking about war and conflict and stuff like that. And he was saying that when it gets down to stuff like that, he goes, brother will turn against brother. Sister will turn against sister. Husband will turn against wife. We're living it, people. We're living it. We're living it. Oh, smoking in G. Oh, mate. When I saw that, the laughing that you heard coming from me, that was kind of towards the end. I sat there and I looked at that in absolute total fucking, I don't even know what word to fucking use. I thought all she needed was a dog collar to go with that. And a little one of those little chains, the little name tag, you know, the little name tag that might have Fifi written on it or something, you know, just in case Fifi gets lost. and already chipped. That's what went through my mind. You know, that's what went through my mind. Oh, I couldn't get over that. I thought, what next? Yeah, I'm going to call that chick Fifi from now on. Whoever you see wearing one of those, call them Fifi. I don't know. I think I met a poodle somewhere along the line that was called Fifi. But yeah, Fifi always comes to mind when I see stupid ass fucking shit. Fifi. Jacqueline, what was that? Why is ScoMo bought in that bank bailout shit? When was that? Well, what is going on? Did I miss something? It could be FIFI smoking in G or FEE. Either or, definitely Fifi. .com, listen, do what you can, mate. Do what you can. Do what you can. And I'm sure along the way, if you're meant to meet people that are like-minded and want to do the same thing as you or whatever, you know, you can do it together. Either or. Either or. To me, God, to me, it's not. I mean, listen, I will sit. There is a language, okay? There is a language for in my home, okay? And there is a language that I use for other people. I mean, if somebody wants to turn around and say that they're a ball hugger, I'm not going to go fuck off. I'm going to go, well, okay, you can be that. Or I'm going to go, well, what makes you think that? Or, okay, well, I'm a pizza lover or whatever, you know, and we'll go on our merry way. But to not even ask and then just tell somebody to go fuck yourself. Oh, and I mean it in the nicest way. Oh, fuck off. Because that is not my normal conversation or my normal communication, as you say. I mean, that was no different. People, I think when I started first going into some chats, and they started, somebody attempted to call me a bitch, and I said, "No, you fucking don't." Oh, but you know, we were told that chicks down there don't care if they get called a bitch, and I said, "Well, I don't know what chicks you're talking about." I said, "But the ones that I fucking know, call them a bitch, and you'll see what you'll get back." That is not normal fucking communication methods to me. That is not intelligent fucking communication to me. So no, to majority of people, females down here, no, not nice to call them a bitch. And not every one of us gets called a Sheila either. You know, we all have a name. I mean, a lot of that stuff is slang, just like everybody's got their slang words and whatever. And if somebody said that to me, as in Sheila, I wouldn't take offense to it, okay? Because I know that they don't mean it and they've learnt that from somewhere and whatever, okay? But that's the sensitivity of people that we're getting into, you know? You guys can see it. You got mates dumping your ass. You've got family members that fucking turn against you. You've got whatever. They're the times that we live in. People have lost the plot. There's just fucking mush between the ears. There has to be. Thank you, God. How do you say fuck off in the best possible way? Like, what does it mean? Exactly. But this is going to happen more and more, people. It's going to happen more and more. More and more. The worse all of this COVID bullshit gets, the more restrictions that are coming down on people, you're going to find this more and more where people are starting literally to turn on each other, starting from your own fucking family. Jacqueline, when it comes, like you say, to like tone or whatever, in Croatian, and I won't even say Croatian, I'll say Slav, if you don't swear in there at least once or twice in a sentence, you're going to be asked, are you feeling okay? Because it's just the done thing. Like in a sentence, if I was like having a conversation with you or whatever, and I'd go, oh, ma jebem ti sestru, I što se glup. You know what I mean? Meaning, oh, I fuck your sister. Why are you such a dick? Now, there's a difference. I can say that in joking, or I can make it mean something. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm in your face, I've got my fist up, I'm pushing you backwards, and I tell you, jebem ti fucking sestru, meaning I fuck your sister, you know it's done in a nasty fashion. Or that you're serious, you know what I mean? Or that you're literally fucking meaning what you say. There's a difference. But yeah, just keep watching around you, people. The more people you talk to every day, you're going to find out somebody else has been pushed off to the side because of their beliefs by their family, their friends, their whatever. It'll happen. It'll happen more and more, more and more. And like, what can you do to even stop it? You know? Jacqueline, see that saying there, for example, my father always said to me that if I wanted to get something done, as in through offices and stuff like that, he says, you never go to the tail. He goes, you always go to the head because the only thing you find at the tail is fleas, right? But again, different way of putting things. Okay, we're still talking about the dog and the fleas, but to say something like that, okay, you know, and I get it. When I was trying to tell both of my sisters one day, we're sitting there having coffee. Now, I can't even remember what topic it was, but I was trying to tell them about something, trying to wake them up. They didn't think that I saw, but they were making eyes at each other, as in, like I'm talking shit. Well, that's fine. If I get my ass onto a property and shit hits the fan, you think you're going to come knocking at my gate? People say forgiveness. I ain't God. Never claimed to be God. Don't want to be God. Being God is a hard fucking job. God, I used to talk I used to talk like that. The only person that I would literally talk like that to, and that's not on a permanent fucking, on an everyday thingy, right? But if I was piss farting around or if we were talking about something, the only person I think that I would ever converse with that kind of uh, in that way would probably be a husband. Would probably be a husband, because I would know that he would know that when I say fuck off, I'm not meaning it in an insulting manner, that it's just literally piss farting around. I wouldn't talk like that to my kids. She didn't ask her doctor. He said, I just ordered that for you. Awesome, Colette. Awesome. Not the first part of your comment there, but the second part. Awesome. That's one thing that people fucking don't know, you know? Like I said, it causes a shitload of fucking problems. Helicobacter and Candida. Not everything is fucking sexually transmitted. People need to look into that. Stop being sick. There's no need for you to be fucking sick. No need for you to be taking medication. Jump on the internet. Go to forums. If you're looking up a particular topic, or you put your symptoms into Google, don't go to the first page that they throw at you. Look for people's forums, people that have taken the medication that you're on, people that have taken different medication. Does it help them? Will that help you? You try it until you find your own solution. Oh, Colette, I'm forever saying to my girls, you know, wait till your motherfucking dies. You'll miss the fucking shit out of her. Because we never think it's going to happen, you know, until it does. Oh, I do, flubber. It's in the fucking dictionary, dude. I do. I ain't word sensitive. Unless somebody's coming at me for no fucking good reason. Then I am. uh, anyway, folks, listen, I'm going to love yous and leave yous, and I thank you all kindly for hanging. It's 12:50 p.m. here, and I'm still sitting in my fucking PJs. Why? Because I wanted to bring something forward. I wanted to bring something to your attention. And this is why I say to you people, I don't expect anybody to kiss my ass. I don't want anybody, I don't need anybody to share my fucking videos unless I ask for a certain reason. But there's others, there's many others out there, thousands, millions of others that are trying to bring you awareness, that are trying to bring you information, that are trying to bring you truth, aka true patriot. And yeah, you know, there you give up shit, you know, you give up shit to get this stuff out. Whether it's half your fucking day, like half my day went into this. Whatever it is, you know, whether it's researching stuff, whether it's reading through boring fucking shit, but you're trying to find information for somebody, whatever it is. So don't let them fucking break the chain, you know? Don't let them break the fucking chain. You see somebody's missing off YouTube, check to see where they are. If they've gone to another social media thingy, I know we all hate having 50 different fucking accounts, you know, but you don't have to have an account. Share their shit, if nothing else. You know, just share their shit, even if it's from somewhere else. Don't let them break the fucking chain. Sad thing is, though, Gut, is they're watching everything, you know? They're watching everything. That's where they catch people. And this is what fucked up a lot of people that downloaded that app, right? The tracking and tracing app. That app and those people that downloaded that, if you didn't know it before, you most certainly fucking know it now. You have fucked over that many people's lives, either knowingly or unknowingly, because your phone hooked up to their phone, etc., etc., etc. That's what they wanted it for. You can either get shitty at me for saying that or not shitty. Either or, I don't care. Either or, I don't care. But fact is fact. You know, that's what those phones do. They hook up to each other. People that have lost their businesses, people fucking that have lost their livelihoods, for fuck's sake. Government didn't do that. We're doing that to each other. I keep saying to people, it's easy. If you're hooked on your mobile phone, at least don't take the bastard out of your fucking home with you. You can survive 2 hours or 3 hours shopping without a phone. Remember, you used to do that. There was no phones. We all went shopping and came home safely. Don't take the fucker anywhere. Exactly. Thank you. Don't take the phone anywhere. But on that note, people, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. And, yeah, for everybody that is aware, awake, whatever name you want to put to it, even if you got to stand up on your own, fucking do it. Do not conform, because people turn around and leave you, or you end up being left with no friends, or whatever it is. It don't fucking matter. Find the people that you can talk to. Exactly. United we do stand. But again, like I said, even if you have to stand on your own, nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. Even if somebody turns around and brings up the word death, so what? We all got to fucking die sometime. That's the only guarantee, unified guarantee that we have, 100% guarantee, every one of us, is that at some point we're going to die. So why be afraid of it? Not saying that that's what's going to happen to you, but I'm saying, even if you have to stand up on your own, do not let go of what you know. Do not. If you are aware and you're awake and you can see what's going on and you can see the bullshit, do not conform just to have a friend. Because the ones that only accept you for the way that you think, and that don't accept you just purely for who you are, that you're a good-hearted human being, well, fuck them. That's what I say, fuck them. On that note, people, I'm going to make myself a coffee. I deserve one. Okay. Love yous and leave yous, and I'll catch yous on the upside. And once this loads up to YouTube, if you can no longer find my channel, hey, at least I went down protesting something that whatever, da. I don't know if it will still be up, if it won't be up. But yeah. And again, like Gut said earlier on, True Patriot, if you are listening, keep fighting, mate. Keep fucking fighting. You got to fight the good fight. Or you can find both of us on D Live, True Patriot, as well as myself and many others. I mean, I go there and post stuff. I went to post a video for you guys here the other day, and I even changed the title and I changed the tags. Do you know that they stopped that video before it even made it to the channel page? So I thought, well, fuck it. I went over to D Live and I played it there, you know. So, but don't let them break that chain. Keep fighting the good fight, people. Later.